welcome to my Labor Day mukbang. So, what am I going to be doing with this mukbang? What am I going to be eating? Well, I will be eating some of these noodles. These are from Thailand. My boss actually gave me these. So that's this right here. Since it's Labor Day, you know, I had to get the Bailey's holiday brand, or holiday style Irish cream. You know, you can see the holiday on it. So this is amazing. I'm actually gonna have this in a little almond milk. You know, I got work tomorrow, so I can't get too drunk right now. And oh yeah, wait for this big reveal. This is one of my favorites. Smelling a little fishy. Blue crab, Maryland style blue crab. So yep, this is gonna be a crab mukbang. Let me check out another one so I can do my thing. I got a few of these in here. Actually, I got these yesterday. I got about a dozen, but I only ate a few. I think I have like 4 or 5 left in here. But yeah, you know, I just spent the Labor Day. Well, not the Labor Day. I spent Labor Day. Well, the Labor Day weekend with my girlfriend. You know, she's upstairs doing her homework right now, or so she says. I think she's on YouTube watching videos or something. Yeah, when she sees this, she's gonna be like, I was not watching videos. But it was crap. That's some good seasoning. But yeah, you know, I love crab. I've loved crab ever since I was a kid. Real young kid. I think I first had crab when I was about 7. And I've been in love with it. Well, the first time I had it, I didn't like it. But the second time I had it, I fell in love with it. I think my grandfather gave it to me, if I'm not mistaken. You gotta be careful with crab too. Hold on. I'm gonna go wash my hands so I can pour my liquor. So give me a second. Oh yeah, and by the way, my girlfriend, she's pursuing her PhD. I know I said that she was doing her homework. I wasn't specific about that. But yeah, she's pursuing her PhD. I'm not really sure what it's in, because once you get to a certain level, those things become so specific, you know? Like if it's a PhD in business, it's like a PhD in international studies of how world trade systems, just stuff like that. All right, so right now I'm mixing the Bailey's Irish cream and the almond milk. So I'm gonna taste it right now. I feel like I'm talking too fast, so I'll slow down. You know, this is my first mukbang, so I had to do it big. You know, that's good, huh? I took 2 sips. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, those things, they get so specific. But what happens with specificity in your career is the more specific your skill set, the more narrowed down it is, the more you'll get paid to do it. Let me try some of these hot noodles. It's good, but there's a sweetness to it that I don't like, a sweet and sour that I'm not really feeling. I've had cuisine from Thailand before. It was better than this though. I think, what was it like? Peanut shrimp or something like that? I forget. But this is okay. But my main focus is the crab. So yeah, so back to what I was saying again about when you're really specific about what you go into in terms of work and career and your skill set, the more specific it is, the more you get paid for it because there's less people out there who can perform that duty. So, you know, if you need your house cleaned, just about anybody can do that. So what happens is people who do house cleaning, they get paid really low wages. Now I know, you know, there's always an exception to that rule, especially if it's a specialty service. Again, specialty, specificity. There's a, you know, they can make more, but generally it's not going to be as much as like someone who's a banker or an international business person. So that's really interesting. So yeah, she's studying she's pursuing her PhD. I think she'll be done soon, maybe in like a year or so. You know, I'm actually going back to school myself. I'll be pursuing my PhD, most likely in psychology. I was thinking about business, but I definitely want to get my doctorates. Like that's something that I know is going to happen. But yeah, I think if I do go for psychology, it'll be in something like, it'll definitely be in behavioral psychology, or maybe in compliance, you know, like getting people to comply with your actions, because I'm in marketing. So, you know, I want to know everything about what motivates people to buy, you know, to take that buying action, you know, to give you their credit card information, so to fly, go and buy my food, but yet to give you their credit card information and all that, and pay for your services and your products, and to trust your brand. You know what? I want to know, what is the psychology behind that? I know a lot about it now because I've done sales online on sites like Fiverr, where I've sold email marketing, and then I've gotten sales for other people with my email marketing. So it's really interesting, especially if you're a marketer. Once you know that stuff like the back of your hand, you'll never go broke. It is impossible for you to go broke because there's just so much opportunity. You know, like if you know how to get somebody to buy something, you know how to convince somebody to buy something, you know how to persuade, which I'm not really a big fan of that word because it implies being manipulative, and I'm not talking about being manipulative. But if you can persuade someone to take an action, especially when it's in their best interest, you will always, absolutely always have money. And that's just the nature of business, you know. When it's time to negotiate a deal, you're negotiating your contract terms, the service. That's what it's all about. So I started off by telling you about when I was a kid, how I used to love crabs. Hold on, somebody just sent me a text. Okay, I have no idea who that is. But yeah, when I was a kid, I used to love crabs. So anytime I got a chance to get it, I would just light up. And that's one of the reasons why I have crab now. It was like a little ray of sunshine when I was a kid. Yeah. But, you know, you can't always have everything that you like every single day. It's not realistic. And I'm not saying that you should be realistic, because studies show that people who aren't realistic, but they're a little, just a slight bit, that's so good. That's a tad bit overconfident. They tend to do better in life because they're more optimistic. I first heard that from Eben Pagan. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's an entrepreneur. He does about $20 million a year in sales for his 5 companies. But yeah, it's really interesting. One of the things that he spoke about was that people who are too realistic, they tend to be depressed. You know, people who are too realistic about their expectations of themselves, because what happens is it's hard for them to visualize being in a better place. It's hard for them to visualize having a better life, or elevating and enhancing their lives. Because you know, when it comes to success and getting things that you've never had before, you got to be able to visualize having it even when you don't have it. You have to have it on the inside first in order to manifest it on the outside. And I know that sounds super woo-woo and all that, like woo-woo, but it's the truth, you know. With me, just the same time last year, I didn't have a job, right? No. Well, yeah, I didn't. I was going on interviews. I went on one interview, but I still didn't have a job. I was depressed. I had PTSD. I was dealing with some stuff. I was getting over some stuff. But I was in a place where I was in need of money. So I started to sell on Fiverr. You know, I did okay on Fiverr. I didn't do super great, but it was a learning experience. I wanted to increase my income, so I was applying for so many places. At the time, my resume needed a lot of work. And mind you, this was just 2017. Now we're in 2018. It's a new year. I didn't really set, I set some goals, but I did them late. I think in like February. Then I started to change my habits. That's when I started to see change almost immediately. This is so good. Like, you do not understand. But yeah, that's when I started to see change almost immediately. I think Macy's gave me an interview. Not Macy's, not for a department store job, but for an e-commerce manager job. A corporate position. And I didn't get it. But I was still grateful for the interview. You know, I'm going from freaking doing marketing for people's online businesses on Fiverr to now I'm speaking to a higher up for Macy's, you know? Just within a short span, just from applying myself. You know, I was taking courses. I still take courses now. I'm really big on courses. But I was taking courses to enhance my skills. I also took a few personal development courses. And again, I started to see major changes. So I got hired by this one company. I'm not going to say their names. But it was about a 4-hour commute on public transportation for me to get there. I think about 3.5, 4 hours, yeah. One way. So I was out of the house for a long time. I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work. Yeah. And it was a sales job at that. It was in, well, I'm not going to tell you where it was at. But it sucked. And the pay was really low. But I had to show my gratitude when I had this job. So I did everything that I could to keep that job and to perform well in it. And it didn't work out. I got fired. And they're like, the marketing guy got fired from a sales job? When I applied for the job, they were really vague about what I'd be doing. I actually ended up standing in front of grocery stores asking for donations. You probably already know which company that is, so I'm not going to say it. But it was a complete waste of time. The pay was crap. I had the job for a week. And then I was fired. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for the sales training, and I'm grateful for getting fired. Then I was offered. Well, then I got another interview for a place that was about an hour and a half commute away for a marketing assistant job. I didn't take it. Me and my girlfriend, we spoke about it. We both agreed that it wasn't good for me to commute that far, you know. Really, there was, she didn't want, nor did I want what happened at the last job to happen on this job. A lot of my bad performance came from fatigue. So I didn't take it. And plus, you know, since I'm legally blind, I'd be commuting with public transportation, and it would cost me half my check to get there and back for the whole month. Literally half my check. So for that entire year, for this entire year, if I would have taken that job, half of my check would have gone to transportation. That is ridiculous. So I didn't take it. And then I got a really big opportunity from this huge mega corporation. I'm going to be starting that really soon, and I am legally obligated to not say what the name of the company is, but trust me, if you're a living, breathing person, you've heard of this company. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So I got an internship with them. That has a very high likelihood of becoming a permanent hire All I have to do is perform well, and that's what I'm good at. Because that's one of my success habits is performing well. I start that in about a week. But then I also got offered another position with a company who needs help with their Shopify store. In between, so I'm currently working for that company. The pay is okay. You know, I'm happy with my pay. It's a very intense job because not only am I doing the marketing, I'm running the entire business. My position isn't specific. Well, my position is like executive assistant, which means I need to be able to do everything in the business, and also marketing director or marketing manager, however you want to put it. But so I have to learn how to run this person's business, and then on top of that, use my knowledge and skills of marketing to market this business online and do the IT work for the Shopify store that I had to build up, that I'm still currently building. I should be done with it this week. I'm actually going to pitch the owner of the business, into purchasing my services, my marketing services, once I leave, because I'm about to start this huge mega internship for this huge corporation. That's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. And once they hire me, the pay is going to be amazing. So yeah. That's it. In a crab shell instead of a nutshell. In a crab shell. So a year ago, I would have never thought that I'd be able to be in this position. I mean, I was struggling financially. And worst of all, my confidence was shot when it came to employment and working. When you go so long without having the job, you start to forget what skills you have, why you're valuable as an employee, and you start to question even if you're even a productive citizen. By the way, I do not advise that you crack crab shells with your teeth at home. I'm a professional, so this is what I do. But yeah, you begin to question things that you shouldn't be questioning, and you can't allow yourself to listen to those voices. There was a point in time where I didn't believe that it was possible to get hired by applying for jobs on Indeed.com. And that's exactly how I got this current job that I have now. It's interesting what opportunities our self-limiting beliefs can keep us from. And sometimes you may not know that you have that belief until you listen to yourself describe something. I once read in a book that you can tell what a man's prejudices are by the way he describes things, by the adjectives he uses to describe things. That's how you can tell what a man's prejudice is towards anything, man or woman, by the way. You know how people react to certain ideas in circumstances. I love crab so much. Woo. It's like eating meat from a rock. I don't know if that made sense, but it should. Yeah, I stutter every now and then. It's because my ideas are faster than my mouth can speak. So when I slow down, I don't have that issue. Whew, God. You can really cut up your hands eating crabs. Again, folks, leave crab to the professionals. Because the meat is so sweet. I'm trying to finish off these noodles. But the crabs got my attention. I thought I was bleeding. Okay. I think everybody should have what they want in life. But I don't think that everyone knows what they want. And if they do know, they won't pay the cost to get it. And I think it's out of fear. Some people say laziness. Some people think laziness. But I think that even laziness, I think fear is behind laziness. I definitely know it's behind. It's what's behind procrastination. You know, when you have analysis paralysis. I hope I'm making you hungry. I'm probably not, but these are awesome. One thing that I had to learn on my journey to employment was to stop saying that I couldn't afford something. with my mouth, with my actions. Because you know actions speak louder than words. You may tell yourself that you live in abundance or that you'll be rich one day. But do your actions truly back those things up? Do they back up those ideas? So that's one thing that I have to learn. To speak with my actions. And to stop saying stuff like, I can't afford this. Because you can't if you keep programming your mind. If you keep programming that into your mind, then you won't be able to. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh my God. That was such a big hunk of meat and another one. Look at that. Just a little tiny piece of shell. But when it comes to anything that you want, whether it's living in abundance, wealth, and all that, you have to program your mind to accept that. And I've spent a lot of time doing that. And building those habits. Because that's what it is. It all comes to habit. Everything in life that we have currently, the positions that we're in, what we do, it all boils down to habits. It's never luck. I don't care if you inherited millions or billions. It's never luck. It's habit. Because if you want to maintain it, you have to have the habit of managing money. If you were born into money, if you want to keep it, you have to have the habit of managing it in order to maintain it. And the same for people who don't have money. You have bad money management habits. I know I had them. So, again, it's all about habits. Habits make people and habits break people. Look at people with success habits and people with habits of sabotage, self-sabotage habits. We all know them. Whether in high school or in work, someone who has great success habits, they're always managing their time correctly. They're always getting their work done on time. They're efficient. They're well organized. It's a habit. It's not luck. It's not a personality trait. It's something that they worked on for years, in most cases. have a job, and you have an employer, a supervisor, a manager. Nine times out of 10, they've built the habits that allowed them to get that position. Because even if they were just given that position, they wouldn't maintain it if they didn't have the habits to perform well in it. There's always rare cases where your manager is an imbecile or whatever. If that's the case, it won't last for long. It'll be discovered. Because businesses are about making money and profits. And whatever stops the money from rolling in, they cut. And whatever enhances the flow of cash, or whoever enhances the flow of cash, or can potentially enhance the flow of cash, they promote and they hire. It's that simple. Are you an asset or a liability? These are amazing. This is my first ever mukbang. I don't know where they started. I think my girlfriend said that they started with vegan YouTubers. I don't know if that's true or not. Could be. Then again, alternative facts. Could be alternative facts. I don't know. I haven't read any good books in a while. I like books. I was really big into books in my early 20s. I read Kindle books, but it's been a while. Like 6 months or so. Let me see, what was the last book I've read? The last book. I think it was a book on copywriting. But I do so many courses, It's kind of like books. Courses are like books on steroids because they actually teach you skills. You learn something that you can apply. Not to say that you can't with books, but courses are beasts. They're their own monsters. All of themselves. When I was younger, I was very skeptical of spending money on online courses. At the time I thought that it was because I didn't believe in it, but now I just think it was because I was broke. Courses are a real investment in yourself. I've learned it firsthand. I've taken courses and seen a positive ROI in cash within a 3-month period. Like when I took email marketing courses and I practiced every day. I began to see money very soon. It's real. It's real. More crab, please. More crab. I'll still have a few more in here. Wow. So how many crabs did they give me? This might be my last one. I have to get to bed and get ready for work in the morning. I think it's past 10 now. I have to be up by 6. Labor Day, baby. But yeah, I love courses, especially when they're being taught by people I respect. But you have to be careful. You have to be careful. There are a lot of folks who just want to take your money. I didn't say a little, I said a lot. So you have to make sure that the person whose course you're buying is a real authority in their field. You know, see, what have they done? What have they accomplished? And even then sometimes, that's not enough. Because they have to offer you real value. No matter what they've accomplished, if they're not offering real value to you, meaning if they're not fixing an immediate problem that you have, I wouldn't spend my money on them. I'm talking about fixing a problem before money even exchanges hands, before you even pay them. Are they helping you before you pay them? That means something. I mean, look at guys like Ty Lopez. He puts out like 2 courses every year, right? Mainly business courses. Either they're real estate or marketing. Yeah. What happens? People complain. They complain about them. His most recent course, the social media marketing course, I was excited about it. You know, I'm still going to start my local advertising agency, my advertising agency for local businesses. And I wanted to get that course, and I'm glad that I didn't spend the $1,000 to get that course. Not because it costs $1,000, but because it doesn't deliver. There we go. Look at that, clean. But yeah, so, and you know, Ty Lopez, he's a famous guy. He's the internet guy, the marketing guy. But people are complaining, so I'm happy that I didn't spend the $1,000 because I would have been pissed off. I would have gotten the course and would not have been able to deliver for my clients. So what did I do? I did my research. I found guys, multiple guys, because you know you don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket. Guys who are doing exactly what I want to do. And who are teaching it. Not cutting corners. Not BSing you. And are passionate about getting up every day and doing what they do. Doing what they teach and practicing what they preach. I don't know how many times I've seen a course online and I got excited. I got shiny object syndrome. Bought it and it was a piece of crap. And that was all my fault because I didn't do my due diligence. At the very least, I could have sent the guy an email and asked him about his course. But nope, I didn't. And I paid the price in cash, full. But yeah, you just have to be careful. I know that was a pretty long pause, but I'm hungry. Another. There we go. If I showed what these crabs look like when I'm opening them, you would probably go to a different channel. So please, thank me. You would run away for the hills. Head for the hills. And take off the gills. Ah. So, after you've taken your course, you've learned what you've needed to learn, and of course, because you are an executor and you get things done, you've practiced what you've learned. Now you gotta get clients. Isn't that fun? That's its own monster. It doesn't matter what you're in, what field, which industry. I don't care if you're cleaning carpets. I don't care if you're a stripper. No, I'm joking. Please do not be a stripper. No. But I don't care if you're a lawyer. Whatever it is, whichever service you provide or product you're selling, you have to get clients. And yeah, even if you're selling a product, clients. And there's a reason why I say clients. I'll talk about that in another video at another time. Clients and not customers. If you want to learn more about that, go look up the two definitions and compare and contrast them. And then once you get your clients, after you set up your client acquisition system, you got to keep them. You have to deliver results. That's where people got in trouble with that Ty Lopez social media marketing course. Oh, this is so good. The drink. It's true. Oh crap. I think I just swallowed a shell. Gotta drink the alcohol to break that down. Is it caught in my throat? I hope not. It felt a little weird. But yeah. That's so crazy. I've been talking this whole time and eating and didn't swallow a shell. I decided to focus on eating for a second, then I swallow a shell. That's crazy. Yeah. I think that, well, I know that when a lot of service providers go into business, they don't always take their business seriously. They treat it more like a hobby than a business, and they wonder why they don't make as much money as someone who does the work. I know that from experience. With email marketing. You know, I made money here and there, but there were guys who were making way much more money. And they may not have even been a better email marketer than I, or just marketer in general, than I was. But they did the work. God, I could feel that chill. That's what I said, professionals, folks. Leave the crab to the professionals. Yeah, like I was saying, I didn't exhaust myself completely. And as a young entrepreneur, that's a big mistake. That's a big no-no. You know, if you want half-ass when you're on the job, working for somebody else, why would you half-ass working for yourself? Like, what sense does that make? It's like you're running away from money. Literally. And two, you're not helping people. That's unethical. Because if you know that your product or service can help people, that it can help communities, that it can make the world a better place, and make you a more productive citizen, why would you not give it your all? Does that make any sense? It doesn't. It doesn't if you know that you can help somebody. That's like if someone is a doctor who had the cure to cancer, and they knew that there were people out there hurting, families crying, suffering, and they know that they could stop all of that, and they just said, you know what, I'm gonna half-ass it today. I'm not gonna go all out. I'm not gonna spread the word about my cure. I'm not gonna help people. I'm gonna be selfish, and I'm just gonna sit on my ass today. That's evil. That's absolutely evil. Now, I understand that some people are more entrepreneurially minded than others, but it makes no difference. If you have the solution, sell the solution. Build your business. Create your infrastructure. Put the work in. Do your research and development. Get your marketing tight. But with everything that you do, make sure that you serve as many people as you possibly can and fix their problems. And then you will be who you want to be. Because most people think that success is money. They think that it's having the girls, the clothes, the cars. Being successful is pursuing a worthy ideal, a worthy goal. So, think about that. I'm Tanner. It's late. Happy Labor Day. Have a productive week. Guess what? You don't have a full week. Well, most of you guys don't have a full week because you're going to be starting tomorrow on Tuesday. So get ready, get amped. If you're not employed, get amped because you will be employed this week. Just do what you know you are supposed to do. I'm Tanner.